You know, like, you worry about you, I worry about me. You know what I'm saying? What you do is what you do. What I do is what I do. Yeah, I'm in my own lane. I like that. I'm in my own lane. There's only one way I gotta live. When the beat going hard, I gotta kill. And they ain't worried about how you haters feel. I'm in my own lane. I'm in my own lane. I was built for this, meant for this. I can't sin for this. God gave me life and I'm gon' bless him to the death of this. Money making switch on your scene, yeah, I'm filthy rich. Blessings after blessings every day, I'm kinda cool with this. Back in '05, I was blind, couldn't picture this. Blessings all around me like I'm drowning, I might need a ship.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing today? This is your boy Billy Ball, the former Phillips, back with another video. And I just want to thank y'all for giving me the opportunity for sit here to shoot this video and for y'all to sit there and watch it. It really been a blessing to me. I looked on my YouTube channel subscriber last time I checked, and I hadn't looked before I started this video, but it was that I had God blessed me with 49 subscribers, and I think I had like 162 views at the same time. So with that being said, y'all, thank you for all y'all done, and this show wouldn't be possible without y'all. But we're gonna get straight to the subject right now. On today's video that I'm gonna shoot, I want to talk about, before we get this channel really get started, and I think it's very important. God been putting this on my heart to do this. That is 5 things that you must identify before you define your purpose and your dream. And this is what the channel is all about. Like I said earlier in my introduction video, I got introduced to a mentoring program, and I really found myself at peace in what I was doing when I done it for the first time. And I had a feeling like no other when I got through doing it and just being around the young males, and then kind of helped me focus on what I really supposed to been doing. So I didn't think much about it. Later on, I got another opportunity through another young lady to go out to the school and start mentoring a certain group of kids. So during that process, COVID hit, and that what brought me here. God blessed me start a repair business back in 2019, and with doing that, I was thinking about starting a YouTube channel when I go out and work on certain things, and kind of had the idea back in my mind. So I was out on my first job after I got my truck set up. I had a buddy when I did a job for, and they got to talking about it. I was telling him I was thinking about starting a YouTube channel. I might be interested in getting a drone, different footage and everything, and just through the conversation, just talking about the YouTube channel. He said, "Man, I got a drone." And I was like, "Really?" And I said, "Man, what you take for it?" And he said, "Man, you do the work for me, we'll just swap it out." So through it all, I was like, when that thought hit my head and that deal worked out with that drone, I was like, man, that might be what I need to be doing. So it worked out. So I got a drone, played around with it. Had so much other stuff going on at the time that I really didn't have time to just sit down and get everything up and going. During that process, 2019, I was at that point in my life, and when I saw kids through that mentoring program, and I got that opportunity, I said, I'm gonna start taking time out my work schedule to go to school once a week, about an hour, to go by the school and mentor and check on the guys. And all of a sudden in 2020, we had COVID, so I shut the school down. I couldn't get around the kids like I needed to. Being a fireman, with COVID-19 was around, we in a lot of situations dealing with a lot of different people, so it wasn't safe for me to go around those kids and be around those kids' families. So I limited myself to exposure for like being around people. Cause this COVID thing is it's real. So being in the fire service, we see a lot of different things in life, but through it all, God had protected us. Hadn't caught COVID since it's been here, but through it all, that will lead me here today. So since I couldn't go to the school, I was just praying and spending time with God and just asking, man, what can I do to get to these guys? And that's when he really gave me the vision. That YouTube channel really came to me and thought about it. And I went to work. And so during that time, when God blessed me with the repair business, it's all about a purpose. I just started the repair business because I'm at the end of the process. Like I say, the first was tomorrow. August the 1st, I'll be official. I have a year and 7 months left before I retire. So I said, well, I'm gonna start my little repair business once I retire, just to make a little extra income, and I can just put around and do what I want to do. So God gave me the business and started the business called Billy Bob Select Repair. And it came to me about 1 o'clock in the morning. I jumped up, wrote it down on a sheet of paper, and then laid back down and went back to bed. And it all started from there. So with that thing, when that happened, I was at the fire station with a group of guys, with me and 2 other my co-workers, and we were sitting at the dinner table. We was always talking about how to better ourselves from time to time. Every day we got through doing firefighter training late in the evening. That's all we talked about. So during that process, I was like, man, I gotta get my logo for my business and all that stuff. And I was like, I started spending more time with God. And I got to listen to some teaching through YouTube at Dr. Miles Monroe. And he said something that really stuck out to me when I was listening to one of the videos on YouTube, about tithing of the 24 hours of the day. And I was like, man, it really got my attention. So when I started doing that, I started watching those videos, and I try to watch them 7, 8 times. Many times Apostle came the same video to get them in my head, to learn, to get them in my heart, to remove stuff that I had built up over the years, to transform my mind. And within that teaching, I started doing that. And when I started giving God 10% of my day, I watched my life change in 2 years. And so during that time when I was studying, he had another sermon, and that's how I came up with these 5 questions. I was just listening to him, and he said, have 5 things that you must identify before you define your purpose and your dream. And I got to looking at it, so I wrote the 5 questions down. I took my phone out, put in my notes, and I typed them in, and I started trying to answer. And I was like, man, these are some tough questions. And so the more I listened to him, the more I did research. It took me about a year and a few months to answer these questions. And when I answered all 5 of them, my purpose in life got a whole lot clearer. And then I can reflect back from childhood until I'm at what age I'm at now, to really help me get focused on what I'm supposed to be doing naturally on this earth. God gave all of the purpose and a reason for being here in the position that we are. It don't make no difference at home, family, job. Everywhere we are at right now, we're in there for a reason. And in order to find it, you got to spend time with God. So when I started spending time with God, my purpose really got real clear to me. I always wanted to be a farmer, but my purpose on what I supposed to been doing ties into farming and firefighting and everything that I've done in life. So when I answered these 5 questions, I started reflecting back, and I was like, man, it made so much sense when I identified these 5 questions, which led on to, like I said earlier in the conversation, we was just talking with my buddies about a logo for my business. So I'm talking about it. God just said, use what you got. So I was talking about my vision, what I had, and God told me to use what I got. So I end up, God blessed me to be a firefighter. So I use a firefighter multi-cross. Right here on the top of this is established in 1979, which is the year I was born. I got a little hand here sowing some seeds in the ground right here. I got my favorite Bible verse wrote out at the bottom, and over here on the side, they got wrenches here, and then the son has got the BB. My grandmother gave me this nickname when I was a baby, about 3 months old, and started calling me Billy Bob, and it just stuck. So a lot of people in the community, that's all they ever knew was Billy Bob. A lot of people thought my name was Billy Bob Phillip, which my real name is Lamarcus Phillips, and I just rolled with it. It don't bother me, you know. It don't define who I am, but I like it. You know, I go to the restaurant a lot of times, and the people take my order, and I tell them Billy Bob, and they kind of sit there and chuckle on their breath and start laughing, and they'll be hesitating about writing it down. I said, you can write it down. I said, cool. And I'd be with the guys at the fire department. I said, what do they call me? And then they said Billy Bob. Then they just fall out laughing. It makes people days sometimes, a lot of days, little small, simple things. So I get a kick out of it. So that's my target goal. When I found my purpose, my target goal from that day forward was to at least uplift at least one person per day, every day, 365 days a year. So that's my target goal. So, man, this YouTube challenge has been a process, and God gave it to me. And so I was looking for a mission statement for my business. And when God told me about the YouTube channel, he said, do it in the spirit of excellence. And so when he told me that, I took a lot of time, started buying little camera equipment, working on the hats, logos, and stuff like that to represent something more than myself. And my favorite scripture has always been Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. You know, it's always so much negativity in this world. It's easy to soak up negativity and have doubt about, are you doing the right thing, or are you working in the right purpose? But that scripture reminds me all the time, the limiting factor myself. If I put God first, it can happen. Just because I failed the first time or second time or third time, it doesn't mean it wasn't for me. It means that I need to go back to the drawing board and figure out, why did I fail? Go back to the drawing board and readjust that, and it'll get you to where you're trying to go. You build off failure is not to stop you. Failure is to help you. If we succeed in everything we do, we're not failure, we'll never get better, you know. So failure helped build me to get me where I'm at today. And I just want to take time and just encourage somebody, you know, just let's think about those 5 questions. You know, that was this show was always about all about. I want you thinking. I want you, you know, in order for us to see change in the earth, you know, that's our job. You know, you can pray and ask God all day to do certain things, and nothing gonna happen. Faith without work is dead. God put us on here to go to work. You know, there's a lot of work needs to be done. God blessed me to have a little son, and through this son that he blessed me to be in his household with me and my wife, this kid mimics pretty much everything that I do. And so by him growing up in the house with me, it made me realize that light switch off, that our young males need good positive male figures in their life. Even though if they don't have a father, you know, you can still speak a word of encouragement to a young male all the time, man. Just uplift them every time you see them, challenge them to be better, because this world is showing so much image on our young people, and it's crazy. But you know, if you keep, just like as a farmer, if you keep maintaining that soil, putting the fertility there, and get your pH and all that balance and all that everything up to snuff, it will start producing. But if you don't never put that positive energy into them when you see them, and they always feeding on negative, they don't have that fertility side to overcome the negative. You know, it sometimes might not seem like we're going anywhere, but you just gotta consistent, just, you know, speak a word and keep moving. You know, you ain't gotta beat nobody over the head. That the power to just speaking and action. And so I seen a different. I had some positive male people in my life, my father, you know, some cousins and stuff like that, and just being around them, I had option, you know. And my dad always told me, be the best version of you, and don't run with the crowd, you know, be yourself. And so I kind of like, that stayed with me for years and years, all my life. So it brings me here when, you know, dealing with this YouTube channel and my business logos and stuff. And God just told me, use what I got. So I was a firefighter. So just like I said earlier, I had my buddy. Didn't even know it, that he can draw. Been working with about a year, maybe 2 years. He was a kind of quiet guy, and didn't say much. I always pick at him, we got him talking, loosen up, and we was always talking about dreams and what we want to do in life, and kind of just encouraging. So he draw that out. I never knew that he liked it. That was his passion. He loved to draw, from time to time. So he drew. I was talking about it. He said, "Man, I'm gonna go home and try it out." And he drew it out just like I was imagining in my head. And so he put it on paper, and then I started contacting people and stuff like that, getting my vision out. So we got separated. I moved uptown from Station 3 to downtown Station. And one night I just got color pens and I just started coloring. Stayed up about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, just coloring different color schemes. And I end up finding this particular color scheme that resembles who I am and what I do on my day-to-day basis. So I end up doing the multi-cross, firefighter cross, and then I came back here with the yellow trim and the John Deere green, because out on the farm I'm a big fan of John Deere equipment. Red is my favorite color. That's how I did that, came up with that color scheme. But when I was sitting there thinking about that the whole time, about the color red, and then on the back of this hat, I came back here and I put my favorite scripture, Philippians 4:13, across the back. And this whole hat represents me. But most of all, it speaks volume about what this hat really represents. With Philippians 4:13 quotes, I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. It did not say some, it said all. So the limiting factor is myself. If I put God first and put in the work, I can do it. But the crazy thing about this, red has always been my favorite color. Never owned a red car, but red just stood out to me. But growing up as a kid, in my early 20s and late teens, I always wore a red North Carolina hat. It didn't make no difference what color hat or clothes I had on. It was always red, and I just like the color red for some reason. And it was a red North Carolina hat, which was a lacrosse team colors, and it was a different hat. So that's one thing I always try to be different. I never try to blend in with the crowd. I just try to be the best version of me. And so when I started seeking God's word, I thought about it. Jesus died on the cross and he shed his blood for me and made it possible for me to be doing what I'm doing right now on this earth. So blood is the color red, and that really shed a lot more light on and put all this combination together. When I put this hat on, I can be having a bad day, and it just reminds me, man, you can do whatever you put your mind to. You got to just stay focused. You're here to make a difference. So, and it keep me focused when I wear this Philippians 4:13. It kind of reminds me I can't go out here and do one thing because I got a Bible scripture on my verse that speaks volume, and I'm out here. So it's also it's a disciplinary thing too. So with that said, when I answer all 5 of these questions, my vision and my purpose got so much clearer, but then I had to put in the work. I had to put the logos together for the business, not thinking that it would get me to this point where I am in my life today. And out on the farm, I was blessed to make a connection with my next to my oldest brother through opportunity to start farming back in 1999, and didn't have nothing, but I always had a dream. I wanted to be a farmer, and that opportunity presented itself. I went and talked to him on a Sunday afternoon. We shook hands, and we've been rolling together ever since. And he picked up opportunity when he was 12 years old. The guy helped us get started. Needed some help, picked up a group of guys, and right now my brother is 51. He picked him up for 12 years, so they've been together like 39 years. And in 99, my brother got interested in farming, and he needed some help. Called me up because our dad had been around the farm my life, so everything worked out for a reason. So at the farm, we always have a saying at the farm. I had some t-shirts made with no matter what, keep grinding on the back. So that came up. So I came up with this shirt, which represent everything that I do every day. And that's saying, no matter what, keep grinding. And what that means is you're going to face some obstacles through life. It don't make no difference how hard or how long it takes. If you keep grinding, and the grind means you got to just work until it happens. You got to stay. It don't make no difference how long it takes, how many times you fail. If you work at it, you will succeed. But what are you willing to put that energy into to succeed? So that's how I come up with this shirt right here, with the no matter what, keep grinding deal. That's my firefighter helmet, my firefighter identification number at Columbus Fire and Rescue is 284. The red is my favorite color, which as an engineer, we wear red helmets to separate it, and the firefighter, they wear black, and the captain wear white. And I got the little wrenches for the motocross deal in the back, represent, my repair business, and the John Deere green and yellow, same thing, same color scheme. So it means so much to me when I put these on. I wear it with pride because, this represents me and what I was created to do. So I enjoy every spirit of the day, but it also holds me to a standard to be a light for somebody, be a role model other than my son, other males. If I can make it to this point where I'm at right now in life, you can do it too. We got so many role models out there. You got your rappers and your NBA players. Everybody not gonna make those kind of dreams and stuff in reality. Football, basketball player. My favorite sport was football. And small kid, but I always had the drive. I wanted to play, but never could grow. So, but farming, that been in me ever since I was like 3 to 5 years old. That's pushing tractors. That's what I wanted to do. Really wanted to do. But I played football, hoping one day that I can go big and buy some farm equipment, but it didn't work out. But through the grace of God, the opportunity came and I jumped on it. And it a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. But I wouldn't trade the road that I traveled to get to this point to be where I'm at right now, because it brought me to this point right now that I can share this with y'all on this YouTube channel. And so, make a long story short, I just want to encourage y'all, just something to think about over the next couple of days when I shoot this next video. Just think about these 5 questions. These 5 questions are gonna be: who am I? Where I'm from? What can I do? Where I'm going? And you answer these 5 questions, I promise you, your life will never be the same. Because we put on here for a purpose. And when you figure out these 5 questions, I promise you, it will just make your life so much simpler. And so just make sure that I'm saying this right, that I'm not giving y'all no false information. I'm gonna grab my phone. And these 5 questions are 5 things you must identify before you really define your purpose and your dream. Number 1, who am I? Number 2, why am I here? Number 3, where I'm from. Number 4, what can I do? And number 5, where I'm going. And I promise you, if you take time and answer these 5 questions and put the work in, it will change your life for a reason. And you will really starting to succeed in life. So I just want to start this channel off with these 5 questions. And the next video, what I'm going to do, I'm going to break each one of these down to what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm going to share it with you one by one. So thank y'all for watching. Y'all hit like, the subscribe button, even the comments. Just let me know how y'all feel about this topic. And I would really like to know. Just let me know. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe. We all in this together. My target goal, just like I said earlier, to uplift, at least encourage one person per day. But through the channel, the more views y'all watch, the more likes y'all see, the more subscribers I see. That let me know that I'm doing the best part of me. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm a farmer. I'm a farmer by nature. That's what God created me to do. and I enjoy watching things grow. So I put seeds in the ground, hoping and praying, knowing if I put in the work and put in the fertility that I'm gonna reap a harvest. So right now, all of us are seeds from God, and I'm just fertilizing. I'm at that maturity level that I can reach back and start fertilizing other people because I found my purpose in life. And right now, I'm doing my purpose. With you sitting here watching me, I'm doing my purpose. So y'all have a good day. Y'all hit the subscribe button again, and just remember, I love y'all, and I'll talk to you later. And just stay focused and try to answer these 5 questions. We'll talk to you later. See y'all next time. Thank you.
You know, like, you worry about you, I worry about me. You know what I'm saying? What you do is what you do. What I do is what I do. Yeah, I'm in my own lane. I like that. I'm in my own lane. There's only one way I gotta live. When the beat going hard, I gotta kill. And they ain't worried about how you haters feel. I'm in my own lane. I'm in my own lane. I was built for this, meant for this. I can't sin for this. God gave me life and I'm gon' bless him till the death of this. Money making switch on your scene, yeah, I'm filthy rich. Blessings after blessings every day, I'm kinda cool with this. Back in 05, I was blind, couldn't picture this. Blessings all around me like I'm drowning, I might need a ship. Coming off the hill, going crazy like bananas, and I'm too legit to quit. You can call me and see Hammer, say my prayers every night. Jump in bed with my wife, told God that I'm gon' bless him if I don't die tonight. See, I'm motivated, dedicated at the same time. Christ gave his life just for me, so I owe him mine. There's only one way I gotta live. When the beat going hard, I gotta kill. And they ain't worried about how you haters feel. I'm in my own lane. I'm in my own lane. There's only one way I gotta live. When the beat going hard,